everybody, Kevin here with Montagical Multimedia, and what we're going to be looking at today is, what are we going to be looking at today? It's not going to be a tool tutorial as I've been releasing out this past week or two, because basically I have gone over most of the more intricate tools of Photoshop that kind of needed their own tutorials, like just like little brief sessions on how to use those. And the rest of the tools I haven't gone over are pretty basic, like the brush tool. Obviously most people know how to use that, I hope, and just all those. So if you don't know how to use those, you're stupid. But yeah, no, you're not really stupid. I love you all, but really you should learn how to use them, or just watch my tutorials, because I will probably be using most of them, just in the various implications of them, and you will learn through that way. So anyway, enough of my rambling. Let's get started with the real tutorial, which is going to be a neon text effect, such as here or here, which is just kind of like a neon glaze, yeah, a neon glaze over the text, and a line of fading out mirror effect on the bottom. So I kind of got this idea of browsing the internet the other day, and a few websites I was looking at had this, and I'm going to be passing on my brain knowledge to you lovely women and children and robot alien creatures. So we are just going to start a new file. Hope this tutorial doesn't take too long with my rambling and whatnot. So yeah, we're just going to start a new layer. I think what were the dimensions of that? I think it was 180 by 720. That's what I'm trying to get at, folks. Okay, but if it wasn't, it's okay. We are just going to start out by making this background black, which you can just do by pressing Control-I, which inverts it. Oh, let's get rid of these two. We don't need these. They're ugly and nobody likes them. I actually love them. But anyway, yeah, make sure your background is your background is black first, and make sure your foreground color is white, ebony and ivory. So now we are ready to get going. We're going to start off by selecting the text tool, or T on the keyboard, and then we are just going to make something that's appropriate for the size of the image. I'm just going to do a 150 font, and using the font Good Times. I just downloaded this one. I don't know if this is really good, but it will work for what we're doing today. And just type out your text, whatever you want to make into the glowy glow. And I'm just going to put in the middle, excuse me. Okay, and yes, that is what you're going to want to do. And you can right click on the layer and go to blending options. Actually, you don't need to, you have to, or whatever. And you're just going to check the outer glow, and make sure not to mess around with this too much, because we're going to be editing this later. So just make sure the spread and size are kind of low, but you can still see a little tinge of it. And that's what we're going to be working with right now. So make a new layer, and we're going to go to our brush tool, and I just selected like a 100-point brush, 105-point brush, pixel brush, and make sure your hardness is about 10%, and also make sure that your layer, the new layer you just created, is on top. So we're going to be coloring over this, and you don't want it to be behind the text. Yeah, so what we're going to do right now is just get some neon-y colors, and yep, that's right, we're just gonna paint over the letters here, just wherever the frick you want, just over it. So we're gonna do this for about 4 colors here. Just get some neon-y colors, you know, the standard bright colors. I feel like I'm saying too much. It's because I am. So green, blue, red, and we'll just do purple for kicks here. And make sure it covers the whole thing, and it never hurt to overindulge here. And that's what we are ultimately striving for. So once you've done that, go up here to your paths, I think, and just select color. And as you can see, that'll give it a nice overlay or an outline of the, what you just did. So go back to your text file, and we're going to go to blending options and go to the outer glow like we did before, and we can just set it for whatever we think is the best. You can just mess around with these settings. This wasn't a very good text to do it with because it's not much to work with. It's pretty blockular and stuff. But that'll work for right now. Oh, wait, that's way too much. But that'll work for right now, folks. And that is just what I'm going to work with right now. And there's your basic neon effect. But we're not over yet, folks. If you call right now, we'll throw in a double effect for absolutely nothing. That's right, free of charge. And we are just going to create a new file, name it Project 2. Make sure this one is, the background is black as well, which is a Control I to make that, to do that. And we're going to go up to our previous project, Project 1, and go to our layer and just go to flatten image. So what that does is it just makes it so all of the stuff we just worked with is all condensed into that one layer, the background layer. And to make sure that we can copy all of this and put it onto here, which is what we're ultimately wanting to do, we're going to go to our lasso tool, or you could use the pen tool, I'm sure, or whatever, but I'm just going to use the lasso tool. And we're just going to go around the image. Make sure you get as close to the bottom as you can, because that'll help your mirror effect in the long run. And we're going to right click it and go to layer via copy. And now that we have that, I'm just going to drag this project into our workspace here. So now we're just going to drag that layer via copy we just made onto the second project, and as you can see, the text got copied over to the next one. So I'm just going to use our move tool to move it to the more center of it, and that'll work for right now. And we're just going to go to, oh wait, first, before you do anything, don't be stupid like me, and just duplicate the layer. And what that's going to do is going to put that same thing that we have right over it. So just take your move tool and drag it right down. And now with your layer 1 selected, go to Edit, Transform, Flip Vertical. And that's going to give it a, it's like a mirror, as you can see, without the fading out effect. And just to finish this off now, all we're going to need to do is press this button, which is the Add Layer Mask, on the Layer 1 copy. It's getting kind of confusing with all these names, I know, just try to keep along. And we're going to go to our Gradient tool. And we're going to click up here. Whoa, what are you doing over there, man? And we are going to click, I don't know, some of these work better for others. You might have to experiment a little bit. But let's try this one. We're just going to drag down from the bottom of the first text, and this doesn't seem to be working very well, as you can see. We're just going to undo that and try a different one out. I think I was using this one before, and I think with this one I just dragged up. Yeah, I just dragged up from the bottom of the image to a pretty black part of the image. If you want to keep the line really straight, just hold Shift, as in most programs, and just try and get it as far up there as you can, and that will give you a nice little reflective mirror, a fading out effect, kind of like if the Monty was staring into a pond in a vast Asian land. Kind of makes you wonder. But anyway, yes, that is the gist of that tutorial and that effect and all that cool jazz that we've come to love over the years, Bob. Indeed, Bob. Yes, that is basically it. I hope you learned something, and I hope I did not ramble too long, and I hope this tutorial did not come out as long as I hoped for. So, like this video, comment this video, subscribe to me because I'm awesome, and we also have cookies, and I'm just improvising what to say right now at this point. So before I start rambling too much more, I'm just gonna end this video.